Hello. We've been waiting for Update 4 for about a year now. I think it started getting teased around May-ish of 2025, so I'd figured I'd make a video just recapping everything we know and everything we've seen. And so if you like AOTR content and you want to see more, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and join my Discord to give me some more ideas for future videos. And actually, speaking of Discord, for this video specifically, I asked my Discord for some help, and somebody named Nicholas was a huge help. Thank you to them for compiling pretty much everything that I was able to talk about for this video. And without further ado, let's talk about everything we know about Update 4 so far. So I think the first things we ever saw were on May 4th, 2025, we got some sneaks about the new Crystal map coming. And a few weeks later, we got a sneak peek of an upcoming feature where you can buy multiple of one Game Pass so that you can trade them more easily. Rather than having to rely on some middleman services, you can just buy the Game Pass and add it directly into the trading menu so that you can trade Game Passes for certain items. And shortly after that, we got the first teaser for the Regiment Revamp. This will help keep track of who's joining the regiment, as well as ranks, and finally being able to kick people from the regiment, as well as offering some perks for being in the regiment. And then about a month later, on June 25th, we got to take a look at some of the Naruto skins coming out, as well as this is when they announced that the new Scout Fashion and new Blade Burst crates were coming, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And next up, it seems like we got a sneak peek to what the aftermath of a Colossal Titan nuke looks like. Admittedly, it doesn't show a lot, but it just looks really weird. Everything's on fire, all the trees are gone. I thought this was such a cool visual. No other information was really given out when this image was posted. And then 2 days after that, on June 28th, we got a first look at what the Colossal nuke looked like, and I will play the video on screen now. And that video was actually a teaser for the bigger showcase of the Colossal Titan. I will show some of it on screen. It's a bit of a long video, but you can go to Evo's channel. I'll also link it in the description, so if you want to check that out, it'll be there as well. And then 1 month later, we got to take a look at some of the upcoming skins. Some of them were a new Astolfo's Attire outfit, Goku, One Punch Man, and even Hatsune Miku, which I'm pretty excited for that one. And if I'm honest, I don't recognize many of the others. If you see any that you recognize, feel free to timestamp, leave in the comments. Feel free to let me know where these are from. And then another month passes by. On August 18th, we got to take a look at Prestige 5, which gives us access to 2 free memory slots at Prestige 3 and Prestige 5. I don't know how this is going to affect the extra memory slot Game Pass. I hope that it gives me even more memories, so that way I can also have an ODM build that I can swap between as well. That would be so nice. Please give us that. And then 2 days later, we got to take a look at the Deus Ex Machina, or Machina, however you pronounce it, the ODM and Thunder Spear set for it, just like how we have the Onakiri and Jotun set. And then 10 days later, they showed us the intro and outro cutscenes for the Colossal Raid cutscenes. And then at the very start of October, it was finally announced that they're reworking map buffs so that one map will have all 3 of the rewards. So it'll be luck, gold, and XP at the same time, rather than one map having gold, and then an hour later it'll be XP, and then an hour later it'll be luck on this one, and it just cycles through. So one map will have all 3 of those buffs, as well as some percentages. And on the same day, we also got to take a look at a new mythical support perk called Unwavering Belief. belief. This is a fantastic support perk. I think this would go crazy on the armored raid specifically. I just can't imagine multiple people having this. I think you can get raids done really quickly if multiple people are running this. I don't know how well it'll stack. I'm looking forward to this perk. And lastly, on this day, they gave us some sneaks for Shiki and Fritz buffs, just some different or new skills. And then a month later, on November 3rd, they gave us a sneak of a new mechanic with the Waves game mode called Blessings. It's kind of hard to tell what this does just because this is a brand new game mode that we have almost no information of, but it seems like it's gambling. Let's go, finally. And then later into the month, we got a look at some concept skins. These were just concepts, but it seemed like there were some for Halloween as well as a Christmas looking skin. I think the first one is for the armored titan and the other one is for the female titan. I really like the one for the female titan. Looks cute. But on that same day, we also got to take a look at some new artifacts as well. Warrior's armband being fantastic for maybe an ODM build. Crystal necklace, which will go absolutely insane on the female serum. And scorched cloak, which is going to be perfect for some thunder spear builds and also might just help with Warbringer as well. And lastly, they mentioned Titan shifting will be in waves as well. And I believe that's all for what we saw in 2025. Apparently, people who are level 50 plus in the Discord get more exclusive stuff, but I'm not level 50, and I think they usually keep that a secret, so I don't have access to that. I just want to cover everything so far that everybody has had access to so far. But anyway, moving into 2026, the first thing that we saw was the new mission screen. It looks pretty cool. It's a lot more dynamic and modern. It's better than the old bland one we have now. And then we also saw some concept skins for maybe a future battle pass. I'm not sure if it's the one that's coming out on update 4 or a future one. They're the demonic and the, I don't know, it's like the kitty cat, ODM and Thunder Spear concepts. I love them. I think they both look sick. Reminds me of Doom versus Animal Crossing. And on February 4th, we got a lot of information in regards to something called an event market. And by the looks of it, it's basically just cosmetics that you can buy through obtaining some kind of currency through maybe event missions. I'll be honest, I only started in about like June of 2025. So I've missed every single event there has been. And after that, we also got the Waves market as well. It's a bunch of random items that do help in your normal gameplay, such as Ascendant tickets being used for Titan skill levels, dice being used to, it just says dice can be used on your artifact. I don't know exactly what that means. Feathered Bicorn is a Wave exclusive artifact. Amethyst tickets can be used to guarantee higher chances of rare or epic rarities for memory rolling. So that'll make it so much easier to go for better memories. And keys can finally be used for perk enhancing and even crafting as well. So doing waves can enhance your gameplay and help get more rare things rather than scrolls being a random chance where you have to manipulate your skill tree and pray to the RNG gods. And next up, on February 21st of this year, we got to look at some of the upcoming crates. So the first one we saw was the Anime All-Stars, which seemed to be mostly Naruto. And then after that was Blade Burst, the Blade Burst sequel, which by the looks of it, it looks like they're a bunch of Thunder Spear auras, but I guess we'll see. They don't look like ODM swords. And then after that is the Scouts Fashion 2. And then lastly is the Anime All-Stars 6, which has Miku, One Punch, Goku, and a few others. They're kind of poorly cropped, so I can't exactly tell what they are, but I also do think I see the Astolfo's Attire Part 2 in there as well. You already know that I'm going to be going for that. And then on February 24th, we got to take a look at some new auras. One's like a rainbow, the other one's a like star mystic looking glowing thing, and the left one is kind of like a glowstone from Minecraft, very fiery but more yellow. Looks cool, looks like it's burning up. I like that. And then on May 21st, they showed this image called the Mushroom Cloud, and the fact that it says ×1 makes me feel like you can have multiple of this. So I don't know if this is a cosmetic or if it's just an early look at it. The fact that this is even an item makes me feel like it's some sort of cosmetic. And around the 3rd of April, the Colossal Serum model was actually leaked. I don't know if it was properly showcased or sneaked by the developers themselves. It seems that it might have been leaked, but we also got this early. And about 4 days later, they dropped something called the VIP pre-order Game Pass. If I'm honest, I got really upset when I saw this. I thought it was really lame to delay the update and go radio silent and then just randomly drop this. I don't think they did any promotions for it. They just kind of put it in the game and just said, if you find it, you find it. But I don't know. I didn't see any announcements for it, but still not the greatest. And then the last sneak we got before the trailer dropped is a few screenshots from the game. One being a screenshot from the actual raid, and the other seems to be a screenshot of just a random cutscene. And finally, after over a year, we now have a release date, hopefully. The 25th of April, 2026. The trailer recently just dropped. I recorded all of this before the trailer. I still do plan on making this video, even though the trailer kinda covered it, but it doesn't feel as in-depth as it maybe should, but that is just a trailer. So anyway, I think that's going to do it for this video. If I left anything out or if I forgot anything, feel free to let me know in the comments or in my Discord. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.